Yes, well, there you go. Yeah.
So moving a little bit away from world news, a little bit tech news this morning.
Yes, that's right. IT departments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, they're not, in all the jobs that I've had in the past 10 years or so, the IT department has not been my favorite.
No, yeah. You know, I think some of the places I've been, I finally get an email address about the time I leave.
True.
Yeah, which is usually what happens.
Yeah, but apparently delivering IT services to an organization can be a challenging task.
Yes. Now, of course, in today's fast-changing business climate, the role of the IT professional becomes one of not just a mix to fix it, but that of someone who introduces new and very, very specific technologies that can actually help a company get ahead of its competitors.
Now, all that could sound very daunting, but not if you give the job to Red Hat Incorporated, the world's leading open source provider.
Let's take a look.
What is Red Hat? It's not an ordinary physical hat that's red in color, obviously. But it is the world's leading open source solutions provider that serves some of the world's largest organizations, from financial institutions to national governments. Recently, the CEO and president of Red Hat Inc. was present here in Kuala Lumpur to deliver his speech entitled, "Our Mothers Asked Us to Share." Speaking to the media on his first visit, let's have Jim to explain the purpose of his visit here in Malaysia.
Well, Red Hat's beginning to build an open source commercial ecosystem here. We opened our office in February, and we're here working to build a partner community and a group of dedicated users and partners.
At the function, Jim also took the opportunity to announce the development of more open source solutions with local software developers via its Open Source Collaborative Innovation (OSCI) initiative. He also took time to explain about Open Source Collaborative Innovation (OSCI).
OSCI is our initiative. It's Open Source Collaborative Innovation Initiative. And what it does is it works to build that ecosystem. So there's a component around education, working with educational institutions and other training facilities to make sure people learn and become certified in various open source projects. It's about working with our partner community to build the skills to be able to implement and work within customers to implement open source solutions. And it's about working with government to make sure there's an understanding of the public policy benefits of open source.
So in other words, OSCI enhances open skills and provides resources and supports to the open source community in Malaysia. Meanwhile, it also helps to gain revenue growth for Malaysia. The OSCI was first launched in the Asia Pacific in January 2008 and is now available in Australia, China, India, and Singapore. Also present on that day was Multimedia Development Corp's MDEX Vice President of Industry Development Division, Saiful Bari Muhammad Shamlan. He elaborates on the collaboration between MDEC and Red Hat.
Yes, it's part of our MDEX promotion of getting companies to adopt more open source, because we see open source and open systems combined with this growing network around the world, growing internet, broadband, cloud computing, combined with open source, can help give a better advantage for Malaysian IT companies to lower their development costs and also to reach a bigger market around the world.
Lastly, let's hear from our local partners on why they chose to work with Red Hat.
Being an open source software, Red Hat does provide us with recurring income as it's based on a subscription model, and as a system integrator, it brings us great value in the sense that with the recurring income we can continue to provide good service to our customers.
Red Hat and Warix Technologies, my company, share the same value of rapid innovation and openness in offering the best product to our customers. Red Hat, the partnership with Red Hat actually benefited my business in terms of Red Hat offering the best platform imaginable for enterprise customer with the same value, with the value of openness that is not seen in other products offerings.
So apart from that, how do you think with the adoption of open system have benefited your company business?
In the sense of, number one, of course, the revenue. Number two, it does keep the customer with us, and that would also, of course, increase our mind share with the customer.
Red Hat, the partnership with Red Hat actually benefited my business in terms of Red Hat offering the best platform imaginable for enterprise customer with the same value, with the value of openness that is not seen in other products offerings.
With almost 60 over local businesses participating in the OSCI program, surely Red Hat will not fail to ensure continuous economic growth in the Malaysian open source software.
Now, if you did not quite understand that story, Red Hat Incorporated is actually is based in the United States. They were established about 8 years ago. They're actually experts in the Linux operating system. They are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, and in fact, the New York Stock Exchange actually uses the solutions provided by Red Hat to operate their programs.
And do you know what? You know, everybody kept bandying around the term open source. Do you know what open
I have no idea.
Okay, it's basically, let me put it this way. Do you ever use Internet Explorer? Mm-hmm. Okay. Do you ever use Mozilla or Firefox, those other kind of...
Safari.
It's like those ones. Well, Safari's a little bit of a weird one, but Internet Explorer, for example, is not open source. It's a sort of closed program which you have to buy from Microsoft, and, you know, you get it bundled with your packages, and there's nothing you can do to it. It's a fixed program.
Right, okay.
Whereas Mozilla and Firefox and, you know, sort of Thunderbird and those ones, they're open source, which means that the code and the all of the mathematics and the programs behind it that make it work are open to the public. So anybody can go in there. If you know what you're doing, you can recode it, you can change it, you can make it better, and then you can sell it.
How does that make it safe, though?
It doesn't. It makes it a little, well, because, you know, in terms of hacking and stuff like that, there's not really a lot that people can do through an internet browser, as long as you've got a thing. But what it can do is it allows people to make plugins, it allows people to make it better, innovate it, and then all of those changes can be pulled back to the people who initially made it, and then they can incorporate them in the next release and stuff like that. So, you know, and they use this idea for a lot of different programs nowadays. By making the source open, you allow people to work on it
and improve your product.
Improve product. So users are improving your product, and then if the users make a particularly good improvement, they become a company that actually contributes that improvement to your company. So it becomes like a collective rather than sort of like Microsoft, who says, we make it, you use it, that's it.
Right, and then upgrade with this version.
That's right.
Oh, okay, brilliant. Now I understand. Thank you for that, Will.
That's quite all right.
And on that note, we need to take another quick break, but coming up on The Breakfast Show, inherited blood disorders. We'll tell you all you